Hi BookTube, Sara here, and welcome to my channel. Today I am coming to you with my July 2020 TBR. Say it with me, everybody. It's TBR time! Yay! I'm so excited. So this is actually my second time filming this video. So I filmed this video last Sunday, which is, I like to film, like bulk film my videos for the week on the weekend, if at all possible. And I filmed this on Monday, the same day that I filmed my Christmas anticipated reads book, or my holiday anticipated reads video, excuse me. And after I had filmed it and we were getting later into the week, I was chatting with my good friends, Bree over at Bree Hill and Chloe over at Always Booked, and I will leave a link to both their channels in the description box below. And they reminded me of the fact that we are putting together a readathon in July between the three of us. I am not going to tell you what that is. The video should be coming later, like next week. But if you want a hint, look back to that video that I did on the holiday recommendations. That should give you a tiny, tiny hint as to what week-long readathon we're going to be doing in July. So yeah, I am super, super stoked for this, and I've had to rearrange my TBR a bit, and which is fine, you know, it's not a problem. But there is a part of this TBR that I'm not going to share with you. I'm going to save it for that announcement / TBR video. So super, super excited. But I do have a lot of other books to go through here. So as I like to do in these, I of course share with you my prompts, if you will. Like I pick, you know, my books I want to read from NetGalley, books that I want to read from ongoing series, and yada, yada, yada. So I'll share those with you, quickly share with you what books I plan on reading, and we will go through it that way. So first of all are the series books. I pick 3 books, or 3 ongoing series that I'm currently reading, and I pick the next book in each from each series, and those are part of this list. And almost all of this is all randomized. For those of you who are new to my TBR, I do randomize. I have a huge list of like 180 different series I'm working my way through. Just series that I started at book 1. Series that I am jumping around in, that's a totally different list. But I have roughly around 175 to 180 series, and I just randomize that list, and I pick the next books. Now, I did come up with one series that I realized that I had absolutely no interest in continuing on with. It was a vampire series, I think, and if you guys know me, you know I'm really not into the whole paranormal thing, so I just deleted it and just decided I'm DNFing that series. I have no interest in picking it back up. I think I picked up the first book 2 or 3 years ago and have not had any inkling, to continue on. So, all that being said, here's the books that I got. The Wedding She Always Wanted by Stacy Connelly. I'm very excited about this one. This is book number 2 in the McLean Delgado series. It's book number 2. It's the second and final book. So this was only a duology. And I believe it was either this book or the first book in the series that was turned into a Hallmark movie. So I'm really excited about this one. I enjoyed the first one, and it'll be nice to get a series finished, even if it was only 2 books. The next one, yay, I cannot wait for this one. It's Beard Science by Penny Reid, the 3rd book in the Winston Brothers series, and I triple checked. I have not read this one, because I think a few months ago I had the 2nd book on my TBR, and I'm like, I distinctly remember reading this book, and then found out later that, yes, in fact, I did read that book, like, a year before. So my memory isn't totally shot, which is a good thing. But yes, I am looking so forward to jumping back into this series. I adore it so much, and it's going to be so much fun. And then The Governess Game by Tessa. This is book 2 in the Girl Meets Duke series. I just read the first book in this series in May. Was it May or June? I think it was May. And I loved it. It, hands down, the first book was my favorite Tessa Dare. So I have high, high hopes for this one. High expectations, if you will. And I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Next, I have a series catch-up, which, as I mentioned, I have the one list of all the series that I started at book 1. Series catch-up is the list of series that I have that I'm jumping around. I may have started at book 5 or book 2 or book 10, and now I'm going back to book 1 and working my way through that way. So again, randomize the list, and here's the 2 series that I got. So the first one is Death by Coffee by Erickson. This is the first book in the Bookstore Cafe Mystery series. Now, I tried reading this book late last year, and I just wasn't getting along with it very well, so I ended up putting it down. Now, I didn't DNF it. but I am going to restart it from the beginning. I actually have it on hold from my library on audio. So I'm hoping that the audio, I can't remember if I listened to the audio last year or whether I was reading it physically. I do know I had a physical copy of this book, so we shall see. It's a cozy mystery and it looks really cute. I just think maybe it wasn't the right time for me for that one. And then the other one I have is Come Back Cowboy by Sara Richardson, a great cowboy romance. Book number 2 in the Rocky Mountain Riders series. Looking forward to this one. I've read book 1. I'm now going to read book 2, and I think I've read book 4 or 5, or maybe 4 and 5. So I don't know where I need to catch up in this one, but it's on my list, and I'll get to it eventually. Next, we have review books. So I have a huge list of review books from NetGalley, and I am slowly chipping away at that list. So these books that I'm going to mention, the 5 of them, are all coming out in the month of July. So I like to pick at least 5 or 6 books that are coming out that month to read. And then I have a secondary list that's NetGalley backlist. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But for my books that are coming out this month, like in July, that I'm going to read in July. The first one is The Best Man Plan by Jackie Burton. This is the first book in the Boots and Bouquet series. I did read the prequel novella to this one back last year around Christmas time because it was a holiday novella, and I loved it. And I believe it's something about like a ranch that hosts weddings. I think that's the kind of premise of the series. Delightful. Jackie Burton is fantastic if you have not read her work. Then we have Sunshine on Silver Lake by Annie Raines. This one is a small town contemporary romance. It looks adorable. Like all of these ones that I have picked are just so perfectly summery books, and I cannot wait. And then we have The Hero of Hope Springs by Maisey Yates, book 10 in the Gold Valley series. Last month I read, or in June I read book 9, The Bad Boy of Redemption Ranch, which I really enjoyed. So this one I'm very, very hopeful for. Maisey Yates, I can't go wrong with Maisey Yates. Let's be honest, guys. Sorry, need a little sip of water. Next we have Paradise Cove by Jenny Holiday. This is book 2 in the Matchmaker Bay series, and if you have not read this series, it is delightful. The other thing that is super delightful about it is it does take place in Canada. It actually takes place in Ontario, about 2 hours from me in Guelph, on the shores of Lake... Oh, my geography is horrible. Is it Lake Huron? Maybe, I think. I don't know. I'm not absolutely certain. But it's from my understanding of the series. They talk about, I think in the first book, they mention the city of Guelph and how they're not far from there. So I'm assuming the general area of where the series takes place. But it is a fictional town. But I love that it's Canadian. It just makes me super happy. And then the last one is Barefoot on a Starlit Night by Jo McNally. This is book 3 in the Rendezvous Falls series. I have not read the first 2. I'd like to, but we will jump into book 3 and then I will go back and read the first 2. Clearly, I have no problem doing that. Now for the NetGalley backlist, these are 3 books that have already been published that I have not gotten to yet, and like I'm trying to chip away. The list isn't horrible, but I would really, really like to get these read for the publishers because they were so nice to send them to me in the first place. So, the 3 that are on my NetGalley backlist. The first one is Death of a Blueberry Tart by Lee Hollis. This is book number 12 in the Haley Powell Food and Cocktails Mystery Series. It is another cozy mystery series. It looks delightful. Cannot wait. Then we have The Cowboy's Claim by Nina Crespo. This is a Harlequin Special Edition novel, and it looks really, really good. I am super, super excited about this one. This is a new to me author, and that is always a lot of fun. And then we have Sweet Pea Summer by Alys Murray. This is book number 2 in the Full Bloom Farm series. This is a author I am not at all familiar with. I don't think I've ever read anything by her. So it's another new to me author, which is always super fantastic. And it looks like a small town contemporary, and those just make me happy. So this one will be great. Now, this area I'm going to skip, which is my TBR tackle, which is where I go and I pick 4 books. I randomize my want to read list on Goodreads, and I pick 4 books, and I read them in that month, and it's to knock down that want to read list on Goodreads. These are some of the books that I am using for this special readathon coming up in a few weeks. So I will get back to that one in another video. Then we have my anticipated reads. Now, I did not put a call out on NetGalley on Instagram like I usually do, asking me to pick a book from my anticipated reads from the month prior. Instead, I'm just doing my Harlequin anticipated reads. I put that video out. I always put a call out in that video asking you guys to pick me a book. You did not steer me wrong last month. You picked a great, great book. And I'm hoping you pick me another good one this month too. It's going to be another intrigue, and it is Witness on the Run by Cassie Miles. I cannot wait. This is the one that takes place in New Orleans. I am so excited, and I cannot wait. It's going to be fantastic. It just makes me so happy. Back to my childhood books. So I have 3 of them here. Now, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I was reading my way through the Sweet Valley High series. I did not read one in May. I had no interest in reading the one in June. And I'll be honest, guys, I think I'm going to put the series down for right now because I'm just not feeling it. I just have absolutely no interest. I loved them when I was younger, and I think it's one of those series that just did not transfer well into adulthood. There is so much fat shaming and all kinds of other things in that series that I'm just not in the mood for. There are some of the books that I love, and every now and then I might pick one up. There was the Magna. I think that that's what they were called. They were like the big extra size ones that was like the Wakefields of Sweet Valley, and it was like a historical of the family tree. I have one on my shelf just behind Barbie, sitting right there. Yeah, that's a Barbie doll. That's my 40th anniversary Barbie doll, just an FYI. I found her in a box when we were unpacking. Isn't that awesome? I completely forgot I even had her. So behind there I have one of those ones. So maybe, you know, next year I'll pick that one up just for funsies, or I might read my way back through that one mini series that was just pure soap opera trash. The one that started out with the prom night where Jessica's boyfriend was killed, and then there was the whole trial because Elizabeth was driving and she'd been drinking, and then there was an evil twin that looked just like the twins and she was trying to kill one of them. Like that was so brilliantly done. It's so trashy. So I might read my way through those ones. But, you know, I'll pick and choose, but I don't think reading through the series as a whole I'm not interested in. I do wish that they would bring the Sweet Valley Twins books back on Kindle or for ebook, because those I really liked. You know, you got some of them that were not the greatest, but overall, I think it was a lot better of a series for younger people, but I've totally gone on a digression. I do apologize. So I will not be reading the Sweet Valley Highs anymore. So I'm only now reading the 2 Nancy Drew and the Babysitters Club. So for this month, we have Mystery of the Ivory Charm by Carolyn Keene, book number 13 in the Nancy Drew Mystery Series Stories. And then I have False Moves by Carolyn Keene, which is book 9 in the Nancy Drew Case File series. So the first series is the series that started in the 30s, and the second one is the series that started in the 80s. And then Babysitters Club book, I have Jessie's Wish by Ann M. Martin, which is book 48 in the Babysitters Club. And in July, the Babysitters Club is going to be on Netflix, and I cannot wait. I think it's July 3rd, which would be like next Friday, wouldn't it? Oh, I'm so excited. Is it July 3rd or July 10th? I'll have to double check. I cannot wait for that. I'm so excited. And then the last little bit here I have is extra books. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So some of these I could have fit into other areas, like a good chunk of these. Actually, these would split up very well into, you know, my NetGalley review books and my NetGalley backlist books. But I just put them here in extra books. I don't know why. Don't ask. I don't know why I do half the things that I do. But all of these books, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books are all NetGalley reads. So the first 4 were sent to me by the Harlequin publicity team. So thank you so much, Harlequin, for sending me these. These are all coming out in July, and I want to get them read in July. These are part of the imprints, and they are slightly shorter books, right around 250-ish pages. So they're pretty easy for me to get through. So we have A Reunion of Rivals by Reese Ryan, a desire novel. Cannot wait. Again, new to me author. And then we have I can't talk today. Insatiable Hunger, is that the word I'm trying to say? By Yahrah St. John, another new-to-me author. This is book number 3 in the Dynasties, the Seven Sins series. And the first one I mentioned was the Bourbon Brothers, book number 4. So both of these are desire novels, very exciting, I should say. And then I have The Single Mom Second Chance by Kathy Douglas, another new-to-me author. This is so fantastic. I love it. This is a special edition novel, I believe. And then the last one that the Harlequin publicity team sent me was Settling an Old Score by Delores Fossen. Delores Fossen is a favorite author of mine, an intrigue. I cannot wait for this one. And then the ones that are part of my backlist, I was able to find a lot of these on audio, so I'm going to work my way through a bunch of them, which is fantastic. And we have 10 Days Gone by Beverly Long, book number 1 in the A.L. McKitteridge series. This is a thriller, I believe, and it looks really good. And then we have a whole bunch of fun summer-themed reads, and I'm so stoked. Okay, so we have Hello Summer by Mary Kay Andrews. I know a lot of you have probably seen this one making the rounds. Finally going to get to it. Cannot wait. Also, A Week at the Shore by Barbara Delinsky. Another one you've probably seen making the rounds. I don't think I've ever read a Barbara Delinsky, but I've heard good things, so I'm eagerly anticipating this one. Meet Me at Pebble Beach by Bella Osborne. This one looks like another one of the UK fun ones. The cover makes me happy, and I cannot wait to read that one. And last but not least, speaking of covers that make me super happy, The Seaside Cafe by Rochelle Allers. This is book 1 in the book club series, and doesn't that cover just look, oh, it looks delightful. So yeah, and then I have one more book on here that I'm not going to mention because it's also part of that special readathon that is coming in a few weeks. So guys, that is all that I have for this video today. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below. Have you read any of these books, and what did you think about them? What books do you have on your TBR for July that you're super excited about? And like I said, stay tuned next week for a special announcement. And until my next video, take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.